All right, if you got thick woods, this is the best investment money can buy. There's a forest mulcher back in there. I tried to outline the property perimeter and also some contours. It's hard to tell, but this is kind of a corner coming down the property line and then across an area to avoid a ditch. But I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. What we're doing here is we're using a forest mulcher to cut perimeter paths and level contour paths around a future paddock. So what we got here is the forest is being shredded, so none of this is being burned. It's all going right back to nature. In fact, I'm going to spray inoculate it with mushrooms. I'll actually even put down some pasture blend seed to kind of shore all this soil up. But you can see the forest mulcher comes down through here and around the property line. Two lines is the property line, one line is a path. And so in areas where it goes down slope, I really don't want them to bother with that. In fact, I can see straight down there, there's a a fence. It's been sprayed down the middle of that edge there. But up here, these are just cuts and contours and pathing. So the majority of them are on slope. Actually, a light slope. The majority of them are actually on level. I'm kind of winded because these woods are so thick. But when we come down, there's a double line for the property. And actually, he ran a single line down that way towards the property line a bit. Then it goes to a ditch. And then he came up here and cut this nice path. Now think about it this way. If you're running goats back here, here's my no hunt purple. If you're running goats back here and you're out here during the day, you can put up some temporary fence and get those goats going. Okay, or you can put up an electric fence with T-posts. But you can also come down here and cut firewood. You can, and by the way, this is not an invitation. This is what we will be doing. You can cut firewood and you can basically four-wheel through here. But it is nothing to get a truck back here. So kid wants to go camping, we just pull the truck back here, unload the gear, ready to go. If I want to go shooting or hunting, actually this would be a good range right here, because on the other side of that is a ditch. And so we'd be shooting into kind of a mound. But he basically went down to that ditch and went up the hill and cut across there. All this road has been cut out. And it's leaving behind all of the carbon, all that wood debris. So we're not clear cutting. I know a lot of folks out there will clear cut and haul away all the big trees. We're not doing that. What we're doing instead, because we have a lot of smaller trees, there's a tree here and there that'd be okay for timber, but there's really not enough in here to be worth timbering. So we're cutting through the small stuff to make paths and trails. Now later, if a big truck wants to come back here and they want to select cut some timber, that's fine. Maybe gonna make a little money that way. But other than that, it's all just kind of mowed away. Now there are areas like this slope right here. I want to make sure grass gets on that so that we don't have any erosion. But there's enough room right there to come in and turn a truck around. You see? Come in there and turn the vehicle around if you have to. Then you can go back here the vehicle if you need to, or hike it in. Really just gives us a lot of choices. Now, again, putting up some temporary fences. We can put goats on a 1 acre paddock where at least one side of the paddock is on a road. And so you cut a path for temporary fence, you let the goats do their business, follow the goats around to cut firewood, and then haul out on the path. So you can get a tractor with a little trailer on it, like a farm tractor. And look how cheap I am. I find a little ribbon on the ground. I'm gonna pick that up, put it in my bag, and reuse that. Anyway, what we're doing here is opening the property up to access. It's going to be easier to figure out what's going on the property. We can come in here, cut firewood. We can come in here and camp. We can ultimately, I like to take up some deer hunting. We can ultimately improve our hunting We're definitely going to get a target range out here. And we're going to get as much use of the property as possible, even before we get buildings on the property, even before we get any fencing up. And then when we do, we can have 1 acre paddocks with one leg of the paddock, if it's a square shape, one leg will be on this kind of path. That way we can easily bring in our water, even before we have regular water set up. And we can easily move the animals through our system to thin it out. And once the system is thinned out, then we're in a position where we can start looking at where the house is going to go and where other things are going to go. I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead. Click the link below. Get on our mailing list for updates about this kind of work. If you want something like this done and you're in the southern Piedmont area, then actually we know people all over the country that can help you get this stuff done. But essentially, click the link below and join our mailing list. I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead.